Welcome back to the deserts of Egypt, where Hypatia of Alexandria lived and died. I'm Marcus Aurelius, and this is Total War Attila, the Eastern Roman Empire, and history. And in this episode, we will finish our saga of Hypatia, and we will also finish our segment on notable women of the late antiquity Roman period. I need to change the map back, however, to a north-south axis because that was confusing me. Alright, so some things to note between episodes. There is a giant force here by Mazun. Now, they are also the ones that conquered the city of Edessa. And so I have this gentleman here, the kings of Axum, led by Ancius Probinus. The problem here is that they have tactical flexibility and I do not. They can attack Alia, or at least they sort of can. I'm not quite sure. But they definitely can attack Berenice. And it looks like they're leaving Adulis alone. So they're large enough that the garrisons of these places cannot take them out. So this guy is going to have to just make a choice. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get out of Force March, and I guess since this place here, Alia, has our gem deposits, that's where we're going to go. It only has a level 1. Okay, let's fix that. In fact, we really should fix any place that's only level 1, because that's hurting public order and growth, which are two things that we need. Let's just save the money now, just in case, though. So that deals with that issue. One other thing that I want to note is that after learning that he was looked upon unfavorably by the populace as a torturer, Arcadius went into church and he prayed to the Lord to deliver him from that stigma. And fortunately for Arcadius, it worked. He is no longer a torturer, although his maimed arm remains. The Lord works in mysterious ways. But in reality, I felt that that trait was unearned. And see, what happens is, I believe, from what I've researched, when you defeat an enemy army and you allow their remaining troops to enter your army as replenishment, the game still looks at that as if you are enslaving them. I think it's one of the options from the previous game, Rome 2. And so you get the harsh trait from that. I don't, however, feel that is very harsh. I feel that in many cases in this time period, that's what people did. You just took them on as federates. And they're treated well, and they're given the option. So I don't think that's warranted. Now, if I went around executing everybody, then certainly. But that's not what Arcadius does. So I did that. Another thing is Nisibis is now being besieged by 4 full-stack Persian armies. And normally I'd be really worried about that, but I have a full army in there already with a good general with 5 stars, and Nisibis is a pretty cool place to defend. Maybe not as well as a walled city, but if I can win a battle against 4 times the number, Nisibis is a good place to do it. So we'll see what happened. And one other thing is I renamed Legion 3 Mathematica in honor of Knives for Cash, who, when I had a little quiz in a way previous episode about who I was going to profile next, he successfully guessed Hypatia. And as for that, he got to name a legion. And so this is the Legion 3 Mathematica, of course, in honor of Hypatia being known as an exceptional mathematician. Tosp was raided by the Armenians. It looks like my friends Lazica have decided to leave the capital of Armenia alone. They are no longer interested in besieging them. Fortunately, I will not have to rebuild Trapezus because it looks like Abazgia already has. So all I have to do when the time comes is just destroy them. I'm also at peace with Kartli, which happened between episodes. They asked me for peace. Alright, so let's see where we are right now. Both of my priests are able to improve. Inspire troops, that's helpful. Preach intolerance, foreign settlement. Preach doom, foreign army, that might be useful. Distract foreign agent. Betray any foreign character. And it could kill them. Okay. And encourage mutiny in the army. That sounds good. So to get that, we need those two. Then we need this. Awesome. And in the meantime, we can inspire our own troops and compromise the security of a foreign settlement. Maybe. But for right now, this gentleman is still going to stay in Africa. Now you. What am I going to do with you? You're more of a homebody. So I want you to do stuff that inspires our own populace. Which I think I've already determined none of these traits actually do. No, they don't. So I guess the next best thing is to inspire our troops. So we'll do that. Alright, Rufinus is becoming a bit of a problem in the sense that he is not gaining any, what is it, renown or influence. He is our heir, and he is now flaccid and a procrastinator. I wonder if the ocean is considered own or allied territory. Don't know. But the procrastinator trait, believe it or not, actually gets worse. So I'm wondering if I should break this blockade. There's also a negative trait you get for breaking blockades that says you're a poor blockader or whatnot. I don't really want to have to deal with that. Ajax still absolutely hates us, despite putting down a rebellion previously. And I think part of the problem for that is the lack of sanitation, so let's fix that. Upgrading these would only hurt by adding squalor. In fact, the cattle herd is hurting public order. But in reality, we just have to wait 2 turns for the town to improve as well. So in 2 turns, Ajax should be somewhat settled, and we can send our troops down to assist in Corrales. Now, the reason why I'm keeping the blockade, even if it is negative to Rufinus, is because, first of all, I don't like him very much, and I can change my heir. But also, if I leave the blockade, I'm pretty sure that another power can come in and sweep it up. And I would like it for myself. So that's my plan. Now, Arcadius is going to attempt to take back Edessa. It may encourage these guys to come back at me. Let's see how far they can go. Yeah, this guy can reach Arcadius. Most of them can. 3 of them can. If I attack it from this angle, I could potentially go foop, foop, and be outside of their range. I'm not sure if that's even possible. There's only 1 guy in there, so it really shouldn't be that hard. But because it's a walled city, I will probably have to wait a turn. Let's give it a try. Nope, it looks like it's unnecessary. And Edessa is back in Roman hands.
Waiting for more orders.
Alright, good. And Arcadius gained a level out of that. Excellent.
We hunger for battle.
So we're going to give you public order bonus and a reduction. Well, should we give you a reduction of corruption, or since you're going to be fighting, should we give you better replenishment and food? We eventually want to get you to Vir Illustris, for which we will need Fleet Commander, Vanguard, so at least 1 of each of these 2, and 1 of this, and 1 of this. So we'll start with this one to reduce corruption. Oh wait, but he doesn't govern a province. Well, we're going to need this eventually, but right now I guess we'll start with better replenishment, since he will be doing the lion's share of the fighting. Alright, Edessa, you're a mess. Let's fix you. Wait, why are we Why are we dismantling the vineyard? Why can't we just repair the vineyard? I see. Okay, so we're repairing this. I actually don't want to destroy these things. Maybe they're too expensive to repair? That's probably it. Okay, so we're going to repair these two at least. Nisibis is under siege. Amida is 2 turns away from having a better defense. In fact, we're going to put this guy in Amida just to wait it out. I don't know how useful it's going to be since he is a full cavalry army, but he will have at least his own unit and 1 more unit of spearmen. Meanwhile, let's try to hinder some armies. Oh, wait, we can't afford it. Okay. Love not having money. Let's just go keep an eye on things, I guess. The Mathematica Legion is ready for whatever comes. You're good where you are. We'll move you around a little bit. 1 procrastinator is enough.
Your next command.
Saviors of Rome are doing all they can to keep the West under control. They were heading to Thessalonica. Is that still necessary? We're growing by 20 a turn. Meanwhile, Salona's not doing too well. There's some Gepid rebels here who we could possibly do some harm to. I think Thessalonica's eventually going to work out. We're on the positive. Due to the rebels having left. Okay. Okay. So you guys, the Saviors of Rome, are going to save Romula, which is kind of like Rome, just a little different. And we'll go in there, why not? Just hang out. Meanwhile, our Sirmian friends will finish you off. You have no archers. So how about balanced? Alright, so we took out Sextus Pupius, Tudianus. Wait, no. That's our guy, isn't it? Yeah, no, he took out whoever the rebels were. And gained a level. Good job, Sextus. He's not quite right. Yes, with a name like that, I believe it. But he is charismatic. Favored, but he's fond of gambling. So he'll never be a governor. Yeah, we'll give you some... Ooh, recruitment cost is good too, and upkeep cost. Morale. No, let's do that one. And in the meantime, we'll give you some public order bonus, because that's what we really need from you guys here. And we'll go back to Sirmium. Eventually, there's going to be a riot in Salona, probably next turn. Mathematica Legion staying where it is. And so is the Fulminata Legion. Alright, lovely. Ooh. You are the governor of Asia, I guess? Nope, none of these are useful for you. Neither of these are either. But definitely research rate. I will take that. And some public order benefits. Excellent. Good work, Appius Nippius Structus. So at the end of the last episode, I mentioned 2 competing tracts in 18th century England regarding Hypatia. The first was by a deist scholar by the name of John Toland, who was an anti-Catholic. And the title, now this is the title of his paper, is Hypatia, or The History of a Most Beautiful, Most Virtuous, Most Learned, and Every Way Accomplished Lady, who was torn to pieces by the clergy of Alexandria to gratify the pride, emulation, and cruelty of their archbishop, commonly but undeservedly styled Saint Cyril. That was the title. I Have no idea about the paper itself, but that's pretty impressive. This was followed, however, by a response by a gentleman by the name of Thomas Lewis in 1721. It was kind of the Christian rebuttal to Toland's work. And it was titled The History of Hypatia, a most impudent schoolmistress of Alexandria, murdered and torn to pieces by the populace in defense of St. Cyril and the Alexandrian clergy from the aspersions of Mr. Toland. Cartley wants peace. I thought we were already at peace. Oh, you know what? That might have happened in the episodes, the lost episodes. Sure, why not? Now, in the 19th century, the story of Hypatia was compared to the witch hunts, and Hypatia was listed as kind of the first official and famous witch, quote-unquote, persecuted by the Catholic Church. Alright, it looks like Mazun is working together with Axum to attack Baroness. And as I mentioned earlier, my garrison can do really nothing about this. Axum's worthless, but these guys are pretty strong. I wonder what I should do. How's the Navy? The Navy's full, so we have 4 full units there, plus these guys. I've done worse before. Desert Levy? I mean, let's do it. Let's do it. So, in more recent times, Hypatia has had an asteroid, a crater on the moon, a type of moth, and an Adobe typeface, that is, font, named after her. She has been used as a symbol for second-wave feminism. She was profiled by Carl Sagan in his very popular TV series The Cosmos. And she even had a cameo role in a very popular Doctor Who episode, which means that by far she currently is the most famous of these women that we have profiled in this segment of the series. And that is the story of Hypatia. In the next episode, we will discuss the Roman navy of this period. And that is relevant because we are currently being attacked by an enemy navy. And we're actually going to move our Roman navy back to the harbor, where they can hopefully do the most good. Although, considering that this navy is actually infantry troops, well, as you've seen in previous episodes, I tend to be better in naval battles when it's auto-resolved. So, I'm just going to keep up with that right now. But these guys, first thing they're going to do is land. We have these guys coming in, all cavalry. That actually gives me an advantage, I think, because cavalry is not that useful in city battles. In fact, we're going to go ahead and put our Lanciari Signores right here. Or... Interesting, they can come in through this way. I wasn't aware of that. I was going to say we can go up to the barricade, because why not? But the thing about the barricade is you cannot get into testudo formation. I'm not sure if that even matters, but we're just going to hold it. Alright, so you guys will go out here and just hide. And for right now, I guess you guys will just go right in the middle, and depending on whether these guys are faster than these guys will determine what gate you go to. And as far as the barricades, I guess that one. Alright, let's get this started. Come on, land. There we go.
More sails sighted! The enemy is reinforced!
Yes, I know.
Well, like so many fish, they are destined for the pot. To arms, men!
Come on, guys.
To arms!
Can we find some way maybe to let the troops from your ships off? That would be excellent.
The enemy draws near! Ships waiting!
Alright, it looks like those two have already landed. You can go over here, please.
Disembark! The tower is nothing but ash now.
And I guess you can go here. Actually, no, that's outside the city. Alright. Oh man, they're already here. Well, I guess that's pretty smart. They're not going after our... Oh boy. Alright, Equites. Oh, here they come. Okay. So you guys are going to go down here.
The men are broken and are fleeing.
These guys don't have a testudo, so they're just going to have to do whatever they can.
General!
Let's see if we can't at least use the tower to our advantage.
Fire spreads through the settlement.
I mean, granted, they were cavalry, but I was not expecting them to go that fast. And they're not doing great. But what do you expect? Actually, can I get you guys... Will we have time to get you into the city? Or just use the tower as defense? Let's do it. Go. Fast. These guys are already beaten, almost. They're sure coming up with a lot of cavalry here. Luckily, we are spearmen. And doing really well, actually. Is that our tower? Cavalry's coming back. Not a problem.
Our men flee the field of battle. This is a shameful display.
Well, it bought these guys enough time to make it in. Quick up there, archers.
General!
Infantry? I guess just go where you need to be.
Marching order!
Wherever the enemy come from. Alright, good. Excellent. We're vastly outnumbered, but who knows? Who knows? Miracles can happen. They can happen to you. But, ladies and gentlemen, you are going to have to wait till next episode to find out the thrilling conclusion of this battle. The Battle of Berenice, I believe it is. Because we're out of time. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching. Once again, I am Marcus Aurelius, and this is Total War Attila, the Eastern Roman Empire, and history. Next episode, the Roman Navy. Have a good one.